Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about Landlord from Hell. Let's watch the video.
Alright guys, it's time. I'm going to share with you guys everything that my landlord has done to my partner and I since we moved in a year ago, like exactly a year ago. And so that I don't get frazzled through all the craziness, I wrote it down. And I'm going to try and cover this in one part, but if I can't, I will immediately post the second part. Everything that I'm going to say to you has receipts, and I will show you as much as I can fit. There is nothing that I'm going to tell you that can't be proven by voicemail, video, text, statement, whatever. But first I'm going to give you a little backstory, which is just that we had to move in February of last year because the building we were living in got sold and we got bought out of our lease, and we tried to get it later in the year, but they wanted to demolish the building and build a new one, so they said by February. Which we live in Chicago, so that is not a great time to be moving, and our choices were super limited, plus we have a dog and a car, and we need to be somewhat near downtown. So we had very little choices, and we found one place that worked, and that was the place that I'm going to call apartment number 1. It gets so much worse. Okay. When we toured the place, we were told by the real estate agent that the downstairs neighbors, the basement neighbors, because we were apartment 1 in building 1, the basement neighbors were not friendly. But that they'd be leaving by the end of March or something, but we were like, oh, okay, they're not friendly, but like, we don't have to be friends to live in a building, you know? That was lie number 1. We also had to sign a 2-year lease. The landlord would not budge on this, and that really fucking sucks, but we had no options. Also, I'm going to lay it out now, trigger warning, all the stuff I'm going to show you varies in degrees of violence and verbal assault, and if you are not in the headspace for that, don't watch this or save it to watch later, because I'm going to try and bleep stuff out, but it's bad. We were also told that the landlord was a super nice lady and that the previous tenants in our same apartment, so we rented apartment number 1, we were told that they left that apartment and were moved over to her other building because the guy wanted to brew beer at home. So the apartment we were looking at was a 2-bedroom, and the one that she graciously moved them in was a 3-bedroom, and they did that voluntarily for fun. Lie number 2. The first day we moved in, the basement neighbors came and knocked on our door. And I said, open the door, and I introduced myself, and he said, hi, my name is, and then he said, do you know the deal? And I was like, no, I don't know the deal. He goes, well, we have a newborn baby, and you're being loud. This is the move-in day. Truck is parked out front. They can see through their window that we are bringing stuff in. I didn't even register that there was another person outside pacing. It was his son that ends up being the biggest problem later. Literally, they were so pissed, and I was like, we're moving, we can be quiet by the evening, but it's a 12 p.m. on a Saturday, like, we're moving, and it's going to be loud, but we can be quiet by the evening. He was somewhat satisfied with that and went inside, but it was already weird. Turns out that it's a family of 5 living in a basement unit. That's probably 2 bedrooms. We never saw the inside, but thankfully, but it's a grown man, his wife, his adult son, who's 23, who we're going to call Junior, and then a 9-year-old girl and a newborn baby. It also turns out that through the ventilation system, it had floor vents, we can hear absolutely everything that they do, and they can hear absolutely everything that we do. We made it 2 weeks. The second weekend, we were unpacking, and the cops knocked on our door. Turns out they had filed a noise complaint. It was, again, a Saturday at like 2 p.m., and we opened the door, and the cops were like, hey, we got a noise complaint, but we don't hear anything from the outside. What's going on? And we're like, we're literally moving. We're just setting up furniture and like putting shelves up, and we're moving in. And the cop was like, yeah, that's no problem. Spoiler alert, the cops would be called in the 2 months we lived there 14 times. Not an exaggeration. 14 times. I kept track. Turns out the adult son, Junior, is extremely mentally ill and does not take medicine, refuses it. And we think that the mom also had some form of something and was not taking medicine either because she was breastfeeding or was pregnant. So there was 2 unmedicated people with no job that were there 24/7, and they would either explode on each other and it would go horribly wrong, or they would explode on us. They started beating on the floors and screaming out threats and curses through the vents. I'm going to show you the mugshot of the son, and then I'm going to show you some of the sound problems. Keep in mind, we were never told that they were criminally violent people or that they would immediately start harassing us. I'm going to show you this mugshot, not to make fun of him, but to show to you that it was very evident that he had a mental illness and that he had a criminal record. Sound warning for this. This is the mom screaming at the son as he breaks trash in the back hallway. This is in our apartment that I'm recording this. In this next part, you can see her yelling at him to stop scaring her baby, and then you can also hear us breathing in fear. This is what he would do all through the night. All night.
That's crazy. I would have just moved out, or I would have talked to the neighbors that lived there before that. Before I would have moved in there. Alright, now what y'all think about this video? You know what to do. Comment below. And this is Life with Shauna Renee, and I'm out. Bye!